August 28th, 2021 to May 29th, 2023. In this 639-day time frame, the NASCAR Cup Series ran 59 Cup races. During this time frame, 21 drivers took home a win, with 6 of them getting their first career win. Yet one driver remained notably absent from victory lane. That driver was Team Penske's Ryan Blaney. Despite winning the 2 races leading up to this 59-race drought, Blaney would go on the longest winless drought of his career. Let's explore how it happened. Entering the 2021 NASCAR night race at Daytona, Ryan Blaney entered as the defending winner. He had won 2 races up to this point in the season and had no risk of missing the playoffs at the playoff cut line race. All Ryan Blaney was looking to do was try to add some bonus points for his eventual playoff charge in 2021. That's exactly what he did, as he was leading in the last lap when a massive crash broke out.
Harvick in the back of the 7 car. They're going to have a big run. Oh!
Corey LaJoie fakes to the inside, stays to the outside. He's getting shuffled back now. It's Blaney out front.
Suarez in the middle of this.
Harvick running second. A big shove coming from the middle. Daniel Suarez in the 99. He gets turned into the 4, and they go into the wall. The next flag will end the race. And there is the caution flag. Ryan Blaney wins. The big accident happens behind him.
After scoring his 3rd win of the 2021 season and 7th career win, Ryan Blaney would go to the playoff opener at Darlington starting on pole due to NASCAR's metric rules. 22nd, 10th, and 4th place finishes in the round of 16 would be enough to move him to the round of 12 for the first time since 2019. With 5th, 15th, and 9th in the round of 12, he moved on to the round of 8 for only the 2nd time in his career. And then with 6th, 37th, and 11th place finishes, his playoff hopes would be ended. Blaney would then finish 4th in the finale race at Phoenix and ended up finishing 7th in points. During this 10-race time frame, Blaney scored 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, 1 DNF, and led over 30 laps twice at Bristol and Phoenix. Little did we know that this was only the beginning of the long winless drought. The first missed opportunity was the 2022 Daytona 500. The first points paying race with an next-gen car, Blaney found himself up front throughout most of the race alongside fellow Ford teammates Brad Keselowski and Austin Cindric. Blaney led 36 laps and looked in position to win the race.
He had the run, but he's going to need the help. Here it comes. Big push from Kyle Busch and from Chase Briscoe.
He's locked on there, too.
He's going to have to stay there.
Inside
Here
was there
comes
for a
another
second.
push from Kyle Busch on that outside.
Even mirror.
Cindric can't get too far out.
Coming
Coming to turn 3 where it all came undone last year on the final lap. Briscoe's out. He can't get to Austin Cindric, whose grandfather won the Indy 500 as a car owner. Cindric is going to bring them to the line way up high to block Ryan Blaney, and at the line, Cindric beats Bubba Wallace.
With that, Ryan Blaney would end up finishing 4th at Daytona, extending his winless streak to 11 races. A few races later, Ryan Blaney would get a chance to start on pole at Phoenix Raceway, a track that he had led 33 laps on the fall before and finished 4th, the best of the non-championship 4 contenders. Blaney would go on to lead 143 laps and also claim the Stage 1 victory. Despite this, towards the end of the race fell away from him and ended up losing to Chase Briscoe. With that, Ryan Blaney's winless streak extended to 14 races. Next up was Richmond. At Richmond, Blaney would again start on pole, lead 128 laps and win Stage 1. Yet again, though, he fell off later in the race and would not take home the victory. This would extend his winless streak to 17 races. After Richmond, Ryan Blaney would have a quiet end to the regular season. Despite not dropping lower than 4th in points, scoring 8 top 10s and 6 top 5s, Blaney would not lead more than 23 laps in a single race. Despite not falling lower than 4th in points, due to the abundance of new winners throughout the summer, Blaney would find himself entering Daytona, the cutoff race, in 1 year since his last win, with a shot at missing the playoffs. He and Martin Truex Jr. dueled throughout the race to make the final playoff spot. Throughout the race at Daytona, it looked like Truex was going to be in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. Blaney got into a crash early and fell behind for much of the race. Even during the long red flag delay after the massive crash and rain, Martin Truex Jr. held the playoff spot the entire time. It wasn't until the race restarted and the field got stacked up that Ryan Blaney was able to pass a few guys as Truex fell, and he ended up qualifying for the playoffs. Blaney's playoffs started off okay, with a 13th, 9th, and 30th in the first round. Luckily, this was enough to move on to the round of 12, where he would kick off his round of 12 with a 4th place finish at Texas. The next week, the NASCAR Cup Series would go to Talladega, a track that Ryan Blaney had won at twice throughout his career, including this very race back in 2019. Throughout the race, he would lead 31 laps and win stage 1. Blaney would be in almost perfect position to win the race with 1 lap to go as he was leading one of the lanes when Chase Elliott got a run and ended up passing him for the win.
Door to door as they go through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch for the final time. Chase Elliott now nosing ahead. Here comes Blaney fighting back on the inside, the shorter distance around the track. A big push from Michael McDowell in the 34. Elliott with the help of Jones. He surges ahead. Jones moves to the inside. Elliott has the lead. Chase Elliott through the dog leg. Blaney with momentum. He's not going to get there. Elliott's gonna...
This crushing defeat in Talladega would extend his winless streak to 41 races. Ryan Blaney would follow up Talladega with a 26th place finish at the Charlotte Roval. This would be enough to move him to the round of 8 for the 3rd time in his career and the 2nd year in a row. The round of 8 would not go very well for Blaney, however, as he finished 28th, 17th, and 3rd and was sadly cut off from the playoff grid yet again. This would give Blaney one last shot to win in 2022 at Phoenix Raceway, a track that he had led 143 laps earlier in the year. Despite the fact that he was not competing for a title, Blaney had shown the year before that he is very much capable of racing with title favorites, as he was the highest finishing non-title driver in 2021. Throughout the day, Ryan Blaney ran up front with Final Four driver and teammate Joey Logano. Blaney would lead 109 laps and win stage 2, but at the end of the day, Logano was able to get around him, and Blaney was not able to get back by. Joey Logano would win the race, his 4th win of the 2022 season, and Ryan Blaney would finish P2 yet again. This loss to his teammate at Phoenix would extend his winless streak to 46 races. Ryan Blaney's 2023 season started off a little behind his 2022 season. He had scored 4 top 10s and 1 top 5 coming into Talladega and was sitting around 10th in points. Blaney would leave 47 laps throughout the day at Talladega, but on the last lap, he made contact with good friend Bubba Wallace, which would force him to finish P2 instead of 1st.
Lead, white flag, next flag ends the race.
Down.
Big push.
Blaney,
Turns
Bubba,
him.
around goes Bubba.
Oh, into Keselowski. Around. Another hard shot.
The P2 at Talladega would extend his winless streak to 56 races. Entering the 2023 Coca-Cola 600, Ryan Blaney would be looking into the face of a 60-race winless streak. If he was unable to win NASCAR's longest race, his winless streak would extend one more race up to 60 races. Luckily for Blaney, he would not have to worry about that any longer. Leading 163 laps and winning stage 3, Ryan Blaney finally returned to victory lane, 639 days after his 7th career win. Ryan Blaney finally won his 8th career race.
White flag in the air, 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
You're so right, Mike. Good kid, good family. Hasn't been able to close the deal. Been 59 races since he's last visited victory lane. Such a fast race car driver. So capable and finally getting it done right here. Bring it around here, boy.
And Byron closing on this final lap to within 0.8 of a second. But off turn number 4, the Coca-Cola 600 belongs to Ryan Blaney.
Now the question is, Should we have been surprised with Ryan Blaney's long winless streak? And when you look at it, not really. Since joining Team Penske in 2018, the biggest issue for Ryan Blaney and the 12 team has been an inability to finish races. He's led over 100 laps 11 times, and yet only taken home the checkered flag once. He's also led over 50 laps numerous times and has been so close to winning races, and yet he's only able to visit victory lane 7 times. In those 7 races, this includes races he's led 7 and 8 laps, 2 superspeedway races at Talladega, which he won by less than 0.1 seconds, and a race at the Charlotte Roval, where the 2 leaders crashed in the final corner. The story of Blaney's tenure so far at Penske has been an inability to win the races he should, and an ability to win the races that he's running okay, but not the greatest. Now that Blaney's winless streak is over, a giant monkey has been lifted off the 12 team's back.